What's going on, guys? PXCam20 back in with a brand new video. We are here at my favorite racetrack, Fuji International Circuit, in the grade 2 cars in the Nissan Zani Nismo GTR. I think that's how you pronounce it, but actually I think I pronounced it incorrectly. It's a Navi. But jumping into the race now, as we are here starting in 3rd place behind the Brazilian, and we're gonna try to see if we can try to get a good finish on this racetrack, as we did qualify with a 131.0. And I feel very confident just because of how much I really like this track. The required tires are going to be the hard tires, and we are offered 2 compounds, so we have the mediums and the hards. So the strategy is going to be to stay on the mediums as long as we can, basically up until like lap 5 or 6, and then switch off to the hards and not have to worry about fuel. So before we jump into the race, if you guys haven't yet, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. If you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Alright, that's enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into the video. So jumping into the race, you see we are starting in 3rd place as we are right behind the Brazilian as we get the start. And we are heading down the start-finish line as we go down this very long straightaway here in Fuji. We're swerving left and right to try to get heat into our tires. You can see also the cars ahead of us are swerving left and right. We brake very early as we head into turn number 1, as we don't want to make contact with the Brazilian already, as it's very early into the race. And heading out of turn number 1, we're heading into turn number 3 as we try to clip our apex as best as we can. The Brazilian actually gets a really good entrance and has to break out because the first place actually got a really bad exit. And we're now pressuring the Brazilian as we go into the inside. We make the overtake going into turn number 4, heading into turn number 5. And we're able to get the move done as we are promoted all the way into 2nd place. So now we set our sights in 1st place. So once we pass the Brazilian there, this is what happened right behind us. As you see, the 3rd place car actually pushes the Brazilian out a little bit as it came out of turn number 5. And he was able to gain a position too. So the Brazilian loses 2 position in the span of 2 corners as we're heading into turn number 10. So we're staying right behind 1st place as we head into turn number 10. This is going to be the chicane version of the track. So it's going to be the longer version, as we're trying to catch up to 1st place now as we're heading out of the chicane, heading to turn number 13 here, staying in behind 1st place. We're going to try to get a good exit here, as this is a very tricky part of the track, as you got to be very patient with your braking and with your acceleration, as you can lose it very easily, especially in these cars, because these cars are just so strong on the acceleration. So you just got to be as patient as you can, take these corners very carefully, and you see we are able to navigate through that very carefully, as we are still right behind 1st place as we head down the long straightaway. So coming into turn lap number 2 into turn number 1, we brake as late as we can. As you see, we're starting to get pressure from 3rd place. He tries to make a look onto the inside. We kind of pinch him there as we get a better exit coming out of turn number 2. And we're going to move the brake bias to 0 as we're heading into turn number 3. Brake as late as we can so we can try to get a good entrance here. And we're able to keep it into 2nd place as we head down the straightaway heading into turn number 10. So heading to the chicane again, we're actually getting backed up by 1st, and we actually make a little bit of contact with him as he braked very early. I don't know what happened there, as he actually braked on the apex, so maybe he's just trying to park it onto the apex, but that caused us to bump into the back of him. As you can see now, 3rd is right behind us, so we just got to keep our cool here as we head into the final sector and just make sure we cover our spots, as we almost lose it there heading out of that turn. Coming into turn number 16, we're trying to keep it onto the inside, and that's going to be a good tactic here, is especially if you have a car ahead of you, you can keep it to the inside, because although if you get a bad exit, you can try to keep it behind the straight, or in the slipstream of the car ahead of you. So as we see, we're doing that right now. We're able to stay ahead of 3rd place as we're behind the slipstream of 1st place, and we still don't lose the position as we head into lap number 3, going down into turn number 1. So going down to turn number 1 now, we're still right behind 1st place, and we actually get a couple of time on him as we see 3rd is starting to lose a little bit of time on us as we look behind us heading into turn number 3. So jumping into lap number 4, nothing really happened there on lap number 3 as we're heading to turn number 1. Coming into turn number 1, we're right behind 1st place as we're right on his back bumper. So is 3rd. He was able to catch up to us, and we kind of rubber band out now going into turn number 3. Trying to stay right behind 1st place as we clip the apex as best as we can. Headed out wide. As you see, 1st place actually goes really wide and loses a little bit of bite. And he's actually going wide again, heading into turn number 5. We try to make a move on the inside, but he blocks us off as we head into turn number 6. He misses the apex there going into turn number 6. So we got a really good run coming out of turn number 6. Get a really good exit, trying to stay behind him on the slipstream as we head into turn number 10. Brake as late as we can. We actually make a little bit of contact with him. and that causes third place to make a move on the outside, almost makes contact with us as he's going to turn to the inside. We pinch out third place out, and we're able to hold our position, as that was very, very sketchy there coming into turn number 10. So coming into turn number 10, you see we make a little bit of contact, which allows third place to try to make a move on the outside, but luckily he backed out of there as we cover the spot there. Make an aggressive defensive move there, as luckily third place backed out of that. If not, we would have probably spun out. But coming to the last sector again, we're trying to just stay as patient as we can, as we almost lose it again heading towards turn number 15. Coming out of turn number 15, heading to turn number 16, we try to keep it as low as we can so that third place doesn't try to make a move on the inside. And we're able to get a really good exit. You see first place actually wiggles a little bit. So now in lap number 5 here, we're trying to make a move again on the inside of first place. And he actually covers us off again. Make a little bit of contact going into turn number 6. We're still right behind first place as we're right on this back bumper. We're going to try to get a slipstream coming down into turn number 8 and turn number 9. We get a good slipstream. As you see, he's actually flashing the right hand signal, which I thought meant to allow me to go to the inside, but he actually just covers the inside there. So I'm not sure why he's putting his blinker on, as we make a little bit of contact again going into turn number 10. So that's where we're best at, it seems like, during the middle sector and towards the beginning of the last sector. We're able to gain a ton of time on first place, as right here he's actually got a better understanding of this part of the track than me. As you can see, he still is able to keep it pinched down but get a really good exit, as he's actually pulling away from us as we head out of turn number 15. Heading into turn number 16, we try to get a wide exit or wide entrance to get a good exit coming out. And we fast forward here as we get into the slipstream of first. This is probably the closest we've been on the straightaways from first. So we're going to try to see if we can allow the slipstream to pull us past him. It's going into turn number 1. Heading into lap number 6, we're on the outside now going to turn number 1. We get a break very, very late, and we actually cut right in front of him, make a very, very naughty, dirty move, but we're able to hold up position. Second place honestly could have pushed us out wide, and that would have been my fault, but he respected the boundaries, and he actually braked very, very hard as we just cut right in front of him heading into turn number 1. So we were able to make the move there. And a little further into the lap now, you see third place outbrakes himself going into turn number 10, and he actually gives second place a 1 second penalty. So GT Sport penalty showing its finest right there. As you can see, we are now heading into lap number 7. Cars behind us are starting to make their pit stops, as they are starting on the mediums, as one car actually started on the hards and is switching to the mediums. So we head into our pit stop towards the end of lap number 7, going into lap number 8 now. We come out and we actually lose a little bit of safety rating. I think it's because I hit the wall when I came into the pit stop, but we come out in first place, so we still have about a 5-second lead from second place. But one thing I didn't notice is that second place is actually on the mediums. So he came on the hard, switched off to the mediums, as we came onto the mediums and switched off to the hard. So he actually has better, fresher tires than us. So we're going to try to do our best as we can to try to hold him back, as we are now in lap number 11, heading to the third turn here. And you can see the Mexicans actually catching up to us as we head into turn number 3, leading us into 100R. So coming out of turn number, 16, we're still trying to hold it off to the inside. As you can see, the Mexicans really gaining on us as we come down the straightaway here. So coming down the straightaway, the Mexicans in our slipstream now. So we're going to try to cut it to the inside here and try to break the slipstream. And we head into lap number 12. You can see he's still right behind us as we are not able to cut the slipstream. He actually goes out to the outside. So we're going to move it to the outside as we head into turn number 1. Heading to turn number 1, we try to break as late as we can, but the Mexican breaks later. He actually overdrives the turn, and we're able to make a cutback and pass him again, heading down the straightaway, leading us into turn number 3. We're going to try to hold our spot there. As we go back to the replay here, the Mexican just got a really good run, braked very, very, very late coming into turn number 1. But luckily, he outbraked himself a little bit, so we were able to make the cutback coming out of turn number 1, and we were able to get him on the straightaway, heading into turn number 3 now. Going into turn number 3, we clip the apex, try to keep it as smooth as we can, not make any mistakes, as the Mexican is still right behind us and is on better tires than us. So we're going to try to just keep it as best as we can heading into the middle sector of lap number 12. He's getting a great run onto the inside coming out of turn number 7 as we head into turn number 8 and number 9. We're going to try to keep it onto the inside to not allow him to even think about making an overtake heading to turn number 10. You see, we're so far ahead of him to turn number 10. We just try to keep it as best as we can and brake early so we don't make any mistakes. Coming out of turn number 12, heading into turn number 13, he's still right behind us on the mini map. Actually gains a ton of time heading into this sector, and I think he's gonna gain a lot of time here on this sector because he just has fresher tires and a lot stickier tires than us. So we're gonna try to just manage through this as best as we can as we brake early to get a really good exit. Coming out of turn number 16, we try to get a great exit. We actually do, but he gets a better exit as he's gonna get the slipstream now, and hopefully we can try to break the toe as we try to go down the straightaway now. This straightaway is so long that you could just get so much momentum going down the straightaway, especially if you're in the slipstream, just because of how long the straightaway is. As we head into turn number 1, we try to cut into the inside. You see he makes a move to the inside, but tries to make a move out to the outside. We have to leave him the space on the outside. As we go side by side going to turn number 1, he makes the overtake on the outside. Very, very bold overtake as we try to stay right behind him. Going back to the replay here, you see he's on the outside, goes into the inside, makes 2 moves, tries to keep it on the outside as we head to turn number 1. And he just outbraked us as he had the better grip. And we had to let him go there. If not, we would have ran into him if we tried pushing it as much as we wanted to. So coming into turn number 3, we're just going to see if we could try to stay behind him and hopefully get a good slipstream coming out of turn number 16 as we advance all the way to the end of the lap. Now we're on our final lap heading into turn number 16. We're going to try to get a good entrance, but we actually missed the apex, and that's going to be game over for us as we're going to fast forward here to the end of the race, and the Mexican finishes ahead of us and we get second. So not too shabby. We started off in third, was able to gain a position and finish in second on one of my favorite racetracks. As the reason why I love this racetrack is because it just offers so many battles and you can just have so much fun, especially with that long straightaway. It just keeps you on your toes the entire way, and it's just, especially with these cars and the acceleration that these cars have, you just have to be very, very careful and driver oriented when you know, when you brake on the hard brakes, and also when you have to get back onto the throttle, especially on sector 3. So we were able to finish in second. Again, not too shabby. Very, very proud with that result. And yeah, if you guys really enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.